Hello everybody, welcome back to another football kit video. In today's video I'm going to be spinning 3 random wheels 3 different times to make 3 different football kits. But rather than I did last time where it's just a bunch of random teams, I've decided just to use the Champions League teams for this season. Of course, now that all the Champions League teams are now revealed, I thought I had to do my own spin on the teams, so that's what I've decided to do today. If you don't know what I mean by that, basically I've got 3 different wheels, I've got one team, so let's spin this and see who we get. This is just an example, by the way. So we got PSV, so then we get what brand we have. We've got a bunch of brands on here, and then we got area, so however you pronounce it, I'm not 100% sure. And then for our type, which is going to be home, away, or third, and we got an away kit, so it'd be a PSV area third kit, if you know what I mean. So with that out of the way, let's actually start off with our first official spin, which of course is going to be random. So let's see who we get. Okay, so the first team we are going to get is going to be, okay, Bayer Leverkusen, of course. Some of their kits recently have been all right. I quite like their season's home kit, which is, just a bit different. So let's see what brand we're going to get for Leverkusen. And we've got Joma, which I don't think they have at the moment. They've got New Balance at the moment. But, Joma and New Balance are probably along the same level. Of course, I'm wearing a New Balance kit now. But so far, Leverkusen Joma kit, and the type or home, away, or third is going to be a home kit. So it's going to be a Leverkusen Joma home kit, and I'll see you in a minute when the kit's ready. Okay, so I've just finished off the Leverkusen kit, and I'm actually really happy with it. I think it's just got such a cool kind of design on it, the kind of band that goes across. I think it really reminds me of like a DNA strand, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's not really inspired by anything. I guess the club could kind of change that into a kind of like it's built in our DNA or something like that, But the main pattern on the kit, which is kind of like this curve and line pattern, is inspired by the big building in the city centre. I'm not sure what the building's actually called, but I think it looks really cool, so I decided to put it on this kit. And I was originally going to kind of fade the kit out using the skyline, but that didn't look very good. But I'm actually really happy with this, and I think it looks really good, actually. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, moving into the next kit then, and let's spin the wheel for the second time, or the fourth time, whatever you want to call it. And we have PSV. Okay, so PSV, of course, some pretty good kits this season. I think their away kit is really nice, so let's see what brand we're going to get. So it's going to be a PSV Nike kit. Okay, I'm not sure if they've had Nike before. I'm sorry about that if you can see like this little cross. I'm not sure what it is. So far it's a PSV Nike kit, and the type is going to be away kit. So it's going to be a PSV Nike away kit. I'll be back with you when I finish the kit. Okay, I am back with the PSV kit, and I'm actually really happy with this. I think it looks really clean with the checkers. Of course, PSV have had lots of checkers in their past. I didn't think it looks really nice. I think the really nice kind of like sky blue just works really well with the reds and whites, and overall I think it looks great. I don't think there's much else I could have done. I really like how it kind of gradients out at different points on the little stripe. It was originally meant to be inspired by one of their first Nike away kits, which I think was purple, but then I decided it looked a bit better in that kind of sky blue, and I definitely agree. I think it looks really clean. So yeah, but let's move on to the final one. And for our final kit, let's spin the wheel, of course. So what team are we going to get for our final kit? And we are going to get Atletico Madrid, which was weird because it was actually the first team I got in my old video where I did the same kind of concept. What brand are we going to get? We are going to get Le Coq Sportif. And finally, what type? Let's hopefully get a third kit. And we got a third kit. Fancy that, eh? But again, I'll be finally back with you once I finish this kit. And finally, we have the Atletico Madrid kit. I really like this kit, actually. I think it's quite obvious that it's a bit kind of an out there kit, of course, having those green and purple, just kind of weird kind of things going across. And I think it looks really cool in my opinion. I especially like the kind of the green in the corner as well. It kind of goes onto the sleeve. And I'm not sure about the sleeve cuffs. I think I'll probably change them afterwards. But yeah, I've also put a really nice version of the sponsor. Maybe not really nice, but the original one is just absolutely terrible. So I had to change that one. So yeah, but I'm really happy with this kit. I put this kind of like technical vibe all over the kit, so yeah. And as a final verdict, I personally think that the Leverkusen one is probably my favourite one. I just think it's kind of really basic, but also really cool, and it's something that they could properly do, and I think that's really nice, actually. I think, it does look like a genuinely kit that they would make, and I really like it, so yeah. But anyway, that's all for me today, and I'll see you next week or whenever. Bye.